Good evening, everyone. My name is Christina. I am one of the nurses here at the Lifestyle Medicine Center, and I work primarily in our cardiac rehab, but I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about some stress management and some ways that you can apply some techniques to your life to hopefully deal with stress. So let's go ahead and get started. I will share the screen here. And we'll jump on. So stress, how can we define stress? It's a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances. We all perceive stress differently. What may be stressful to me may not be stressful to you. So that's something to understand, especially in relationships, that we all perceive stress differently. So what does stress do to the body? Acute stress is something we may feel as we drive around town and someone cuts us off, or maybe we find out a loved one is sick. Acute stress is actually something good. It is our survival instinct. It's that boost of epinephrine, that fight or flight, or that adrenaline rush, right? But if we do not have positive coping mechanisms to help us deal with acute stress, it will turn into chronic stress. And chronic stress will lead to many health problems such as low energy, headaches, upset stomach, aches, pains, tense muscles, chest pain, insomnia, suppresses our immune system. We can have a loss of sexual desire or ability, nervousness, anxiety, dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and grinding teeth. So all of these, if we do not handle our stress well, we don't have appropriate coping mechanisms, we can end up with many health issues, right? And we often don't relate our overall health to stress, but it definitely has an impact. So some examples that we are going to discuss more in detail throughout this presentation are going to be deep breathing activities, meditation, prayer, exercise, recognizing the negative emotion, journaling, decreasing caffeine, alcohol, and sugar consumption, talking to somebody, and doing something that we enjoy. So deep breathing is the first thing we're going to discuss. I know this is one I like to do when I feel that tension in my back, or all of a sudden I feel just that anxious feeling or something stressed me. I want to take a big deep breath and try to just let it all go. Whenever we are stressing, usually our heart rate is going to increase, our blood pressure is going to increase, and sometimes maybe even our respirations. So taking that big deep breath in is going to help to actually bring down that heart rate, bring the blood pressure down, and can actually slow your breathing. So these are deep breathing is a great technique when you're all of a sudden feeling that acute stress. You can also do something called abdominal breathing. This is a technique that you want to do where you take in a big deep breath, a belly breath, inhale as much air as you can. You want to hold that for about 7 seconds. And then you want to let that breath out over 8 seconds. So let out a big long breath. And then you want to repeat that a couple of times over. This is something you can actually do daily, and it will help with some cardiac health as well. So next is our progressive relaxation technique. This technique involves tensing different muscle groups, and we're going to actually practice this technique. So go ahead and get a comfortable position. If you're sitting in a chair, get your feet flat on the ground out in front of you. Just kind of feel nice and relaxed in the chair. If you have a space that you can lay down, go ahead and lay down, and just go ahead and close your eyes, and we will work through this. So assume a passive attitude. Focus on yourself and on achieving relaxation in specific body muscles, and we want to tune out all thoughts. Wrinkle your forehead. Try to make your eyebrows touch your hairline. And we're going to hold this for 5 seconds. And relax. Go ahead. You have your eyes closed, but squeeze them tightly. And relax. Draw the centers of your mouth back and grimace for 5 seconds. You may even clench your teeth. And relax. Now feel the warmth and calmness in your face. Extend your arms out in front of you with clenched fists. and relax. Feel the warmth and calmness in your hands. Now extend your arms out again, this time like you're pushing against a wall. And relax. Bend your elbows and tense your biceps. And relax. Feel the tension leave your arms. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears. And relax. Arch your back off of the floor or the back of the chair. And relax. Tighten your stomach muscles. And relax. Tighten your hip and buttock muscles. And relax. Tighten your thigh muscles by pressing your legs together as tightly as you can. And relax. Bend your ankles toward your body as far as you can. Point your toes towards your body. And relax. Now curl your toes as tightly as you can. And relax. Now focus on any muscles which may still be tense. If any muscles remain tense, tighten and relax that specific muscle group 3 or 4 more times. Let's experience this feeling of total relaxation in your mind. When you are ready, go ahead and open your eyes. I love using this technique when my mind's kind of racing and I just can't get it to settle down before bed. I think this is a great total body relaxation technique, and I really enjoy this one. So let's move on and talk about exercise. Physical exercise metabolizes the excess hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, released when we are stressed, so helping us to get back to a calmer and relaxed state. Physical exercise is one of my personal favorites because it's kind of like a bonus. Not only is it going to help you reduce your stress, but it can also help with weight loss, better sleep, cardiovascular benefits, and when you're increasing your muscle mass, you're going to decrease your fat, and you're going to actually have more of a fat burning when you have more muscle mass. So I love exercise for this, all the benefits. Next, we're going to talk about recognizing the negative emotion. So first, you want to feel that negative emotion when it comes on, recognize it, and stop. Understand why you are feeling that way. Let yourself feel the negative emotion, so recognize maybe what led you to feeling that way. Visualize the emotion far away to let it go. So I like to envision myself on top of a mountain and that emotion just kind of falling away from me or floating away. That's how I'm letting it go. Once you understand the feeling, allow yourself to feel it, truly feel the emotion, and then let it go. Tell yourself it's okay to feel that way. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this negative emotion? By doing this, you can cope with the feeling and better prepare yourself for similar instances in the future, and maybe even avoid the stress or negative emotion once you truly understand what was causing it in the first place. Meditation and prayer, just focusing on something other than the stressful situation, helps to relax the body. Or prayer, you're giving it up, giving it away to somebody else to deal with. There's plenty of YouTube videos or apps that can all help you with meditation or calm states. And all free stuff too. You don't have to pay for it. Journaling, I think, is another great technique to help you definitely identify the stress triggers. So things you want to note whenever you're journaling about situations is note about the situation, who you are with, when, where, and why it might have happened. And then you can come up with a tool as well to rate the stress. So if you know it's a high stressful situation, just noting, where, when, and where it happened or who you're with, that you can eliminate maybe some of those elements so that it doesn't trigger that same situation. Or let's just say it's something that you're wanting to change. You've noticed that in the afternoons you go for a chocolate bar, but it's typically after a certain meeting you maybe have at work. And so you realize, actually, I'm stressed and that's why I'm going for the chocolate bar, not that I'm actually craving the chocolate, but it's how I'm coping. So that might be a good way just to identify why things are happening and maybe ways you can avoid it. Of course, reducing our caffeine, alcohol, and sugar consumptions, because these are all stimulants. So trying to limit these items can also help. Talking to someone. This can be a friend, a family member, or it could be a counselor or a therapist. Talking to someone, gives you feelings of nurturing and understanding that can help put your feelings into perspective. So, and sometimes, it's not even just about getting somebody's opinion. Sometimes you just need to talk something out loud and then you're able to let it go. Holding things in can cause you more stress and not speaking them out loud. So sometimes it's just the talking, you just need somebody to listen. It's not necessarily that you need input, but having a counselor or therapist definitely helps in situations that maybe involve like a circle and you don't want to confide in that circle of loved ones or friends. And they can give you a different perspective. It might even be something you don't want to hear, right? Doing something you enjoy. These, obviously, when you're doing something you enjoy, you're happy, you're smiling, you're laughing. These are all things that have been proven to help reduce stress. Also, it's going to release those happy endorphins and just have more of a positive mindset. So you want to make yourself a priority and make doing these things a priority that you enjoy. And of course, you can always get a hold of us if there's anything that you need more help with, or you're interested in any programs that we're doing, or any recommendations you may have for us. You can always call us at our phone number 432-221-5433. And just have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed this and you've got some tips that you can try on managing your stress.